Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about space treasures. I'm going to be talking about the space that we know of and all the treasures that we believe are in space. Actually, what we see as treasures here on Earth, like gold, silver, and many of the like diamonds and other precious metals like platinum, which is more expensive than gold. All these expensive metals that we see here on Earth, those are very common in space. And for maybe a more advanced civilization than ours, it would be easy to, let's say, gather gold or silver or platinum, any of those metals from space, because they know where they are. And if they have the capabilities, to get those precious metals and bring them to the planet, it would be like nothing for them. But we know that there's a lot of gold around the Mars asteroid belt. There's a lot of gold around there and all the precious metals. Not only gold, there's even a huge rock that NASA wants to check it out, that's flying in the belt of asteroids around Mars. That is full of gold and all the precious metals, and it's huge. Value is incredible because we give it value because there's not too much of that in this planet, but the universe is actually full of it. If we calculate the amount of gold and all precious metals in space that probably could be found on Mars, Venus, Mercury, all these rocks flying around, even the ones around the asteroid belt on Mars. If we calculate all the amount of precious metals, diamonds, and stones that are around, flying around, all that would create the value of everything that we know of today to collapse. It would be as thing as good as probably copper. Gold would fall to prices like below copper or regular steel because there's so much gold space that you could build anything with gold. Anything, really cheap, really cheap. The only problem is that it's really hard to find it. Not to find it, to get it and bring it to your planet. Finding it is easy if you have the right equipment, but to bring it or to go and take it, that's the only thing that we cannot do right now at this moment. But in the future, that's gonna be possible. There's going to be space miners, people that are going to go into space and gather anything or bring a huge chunk of rock and put it on an orbit around the moon or around our planet and go over there and bring whatever they want out of it until the whole thing is gone. That's a good idea. You just go into space, find a huge chunk of any precious metal, bring it and put it in an orbit and then mine it right here on Earth. We'll put it somewhere safe, put it on an orbit around the moon. So if it crashes into something, we'll crash into the moon. But that's possible in the future. And all of that is going to be the value, it's going to make all the value of all these precious metals that we know of today go down to nothing. So gold right now is expensive because we don't have another way of bringing it from space. We don't have a way of doing that right now. That's why it's expensive. But as soon as we find out a way of how to bring any precious metal from space, then things are going to change. All these precious metals values are going to go down to the bottom. And look at diamonds. There's actually ways of making diamonds nowadays. There's ways of producing industrial diamonds. and there's so many ways of doing them, and they come out exactly the same way of a regular diamond, one produced by the volcanic heat. And another thing that's going to arise within space is that we're going to find other metals. We're going to find other things that are going to be even rarer than gold and silver. We're going to find other types of metals that we don't know about. We're going to find metals that if we build a spaceship with those metals, the spaceship is actually going to float. It's going to be able to, it's going to be like super light. It's going to be able to float in space. And if we add all the types of metals, it's going to make the spaceship move, depending on how you rotate or how you get a current of electricity through that metal. Depending on the current of electricity, that's going to make the metal move to a different area. Let's say move up or down. And there's going to be new discoveries coming, once we find all these metals that are hidden in space that we don't know about it, and other precious stones and other things that we don't know about that are flying in space, other components of materials that are like really rare and strange for us that we don't know about. So that's going to be the next move, the treasures in space that we're going to be finding later on are going to be like really the turnaround on this civilization, because we're going to be able to do more things than we're doing right now. And we could use some of them as energy also to power a spaceship. And that's going to be the future of space exploration. Once we find new things, so we create new things, because there's actually new metals that have been created here on Earth using certain methods. And these new metals, the product we're creating, they're already in space, but we are creating it here. But they're probably out in space somewhere already made, because space is full of new things that we don't know about, new metals that we don't know about in abundant quantities in certain areas. And that's going to be the future of space treasures that we're going to find, and it's going to create probably kind of like a new gold rush, trying to look for those metals that would give special anti-gravity powers to any spaceship that we build in the future. And there's a lot of new developments that are going to be coming due to these treasures that we're going to be finding in space. And that's going to change the way we travel around. So thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you like what I just talked about, and comment. If I'm wrong on something or you want to discuss about anything, just comment on this video or any of my other videos. I sometimes come up with these thoughts and ideas, and I like to talk about it on these videos. And I hope you enjoy the car driving around also. So thank you very much, and see you on the next one.